Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Aliens and UFOs video. I promised some more special edition videos. Last one that I just did was the one involving my own first time on my own 100% just amateur ghost tour that I took there in Las Vegas. Pretty positive reception, so thank you for the kind comments there. This special edition has to do with aliens and UFOs because one of the other trips that I took, this time more of a professional trip, was an actual Area 51 VIP tour. It was amazing. I loved it. I had no idea what my expectations were going to be taking this tour because it was the first time for me doing anything like this. Normally, when I go on any kind of trips, I never go on something like this. So this is absolutely the first time I took this type of trip, and it was phenomenal. So I'm going to go ahead and showcase some special edition videos tied to a bunch of photos that I took just for this trip, the Area 51 VIP tour. Keyword being VIP because this one, it was only myself and two other people on the tour, and that's how it is. Like, that's how it's purposely set up. Because the company, which you'll see a picture of here, Adventures Photo Op, they, or at least for this tour, only have like one SUV per trip. So they do multiple trips actually, because I saw another SUV that had other people. But the key thing is I'm not crammed with, let's say, like 15 other people at the same time and I'm just another number. No, it's truly a VIP tour because it was just myself and two other people. By the way, I'm mentioning the company because I didn't get anything. Like, there was no cross promotion of sorts, no discounts for showcasing them on my videos, stuff like that. This is just me making sure that I talk about what was a great company offering a great tour, and I'm always happy to share that information with yourself as fans. So that way, if you ever go to Las Vegas anytime soon and you're interested in a tour like this is one I highly recommend. I guess I could have mentioned something about my video and gotten something like a discount of some sort, but because I do get offers like that several times through private messages or through other notices, but in this case, no, I highly have to mention this company because they did a phenomenal job, even without myself, like, participating in any way as a cross promotion. This is very good stuff that they offered. So let's go ahead and we'll talk about the tour itself. I'm going to have to split it up over several videos because the number of photos that I have, it's a bunch. So I can't cram it all into one video, otherwise it'll be a really long one. So I'm going to separate them out over several. So be on the lookout, please, for some other future videos tied to this. Let's go with the very beginning of the tour. The tour itself, they pick you up at whatever hotel you're staying at there in Vegas. Presumably, if you're staying obviously like somewhere on the Strip. In my case, I was at the Excalibur, so it was a pretty easy pickup because the Excalibur is very close to this location, and you're seeing a picture that I took here. This is a picture of the airport area that's nearby the main airport there in Las Vegas. What's different about this area is that this area specifically caters to a certain set of employees there for Area 51. I cannot remember what the name of the subsection of the airport was that the tour guide was mentioning, but I do remember the names of the planes, and you're looking at one here in this picture. It's a little bit far in the distance where you can see it. This was a plane that's called Janet, and I think the acronym stands for Just Another Non-Existent something. I can't remember what the last part is, but this is one of the planes that the Area 51 employees hop on each morning to go fly over to Area 51. It was crazy to see this because you would think that with all the top security, top clearances, everything that's normally tied with like above Black Ops, top secret type stuff with Area 51, here the employees nonchalantly just go to a public airport, albeit it's a cordoned off section, but still anyone can drive up like we did, straight up to the gate, and then there they just park their cars, normal cars, like behind the regular chain link fence of sorts, and then get on the plane and then leave. So in other words, they're not going to some like secret hangar of some sort underground past many levels of clearance. No, the gate that I saw there is just a standard gate, like let's say if you were parking in a parking garage. It's no different than that. And so the Janet plane that you're looking at here is one of them. The tour guide said normally there's around 4 or 5. So this one, it looks like it was left over. It looks, he said the way it looks like the employees already left for the morning, so we didn't get to see like an actual takeoff of one of those Janet airplanes, but instead this was one that I guess that was left over. So that was pretty cool to see. Then I took some pictures of other nearby areas. Basically, I just turned to the left and then turned further to the left, and you see what I was referring to earlier, how this is just a normal part of the airport, because there are some buildings, some companies there that are not related at all to Area 51. They're just normal businesses that happen to have their location right next to the area that the Area 51 people go and leave for work. So again, quite a stark difference between the two. And then on top of that, there's one in the far distance. I think it was video/poker.com, something like that. And so that was even further buried within the Area 51, I guess, hangar area for the employees. Again, showing a clear difference between the two in terms of what they how you have civilian employers easily just mishmashed with these top secret employees from Area 51. Crazy stuff. By the way, the sounds of it though, these employees, they just hop on, like they don't go through anything else. It's just normal business day for them. And then if I took a picture further west, and guess who that is? Of course, it's Lil Godzilla. He accompanied me throughout the trip, so you're going to see various pictures of him later on in the videos, taking a selfie of sorts in front of pretty important locations. So that is an area facing further left that just shows it's one of their highways there in Las Vegas, and again it shows how close it is to main civilization. Quite different than Area 51, because Area 51 is so far away from any road. I think the guide was saying something like 16 miles from the nearest public road. Here, the hangar that picks them up, you're looking at it from across the way from Little Godzilla there. It's like a mile away or so from just public areas, from public highways. So crazy stuff. So let's go to the next picture, and this is a picture that shows my vantage point when I was in the tour guide with the tour guide in the SUV. It shows I was sitting on the front right, which is great. I loved it, the passenger side, because I got first-hand look at everything that was coming up. This is a good example, essentially, of what most of the trip was. The Area 51 location is pretty far away. I think it's almost like an hour and a half if you're doing 70 miles or so per hour. So getting to there is just a lot of nondescript road and a lot of nondescript scenery on the side. And I was quite amazed because most of the road is perfectly straight, like it stretches straight to the horizon, like all the way to the far distance. That was pretty cool to see, because coming here from Texas, obviously with all this traffic too here, we never see anything like this, where it's just a blank road stretching to infinity and no cars. There were so few cars within this road. It started to pick up every now and then the closer we got to certain, I guess you could call those cities, but they're really, really tiny cities. But other than that, you could probably just put it on cruise on your car and never experience another car for at least 10-15 minutes or so. It was crazy stuff. This next picture showcases a diversion that we went through. All of a sudden, the tour guide, he turned his right blinker, and then we went to a very, like a rough, patchy dirt road of sorts, and you'll see that this place, it took us nearer to the mountains that were to the side of the main road, the main highway there. And so it was interesting because I don't know where we were going at that time. And so we went through several areas there, like you're looking at this other picture here, and it showcases some of the areas. They had like these rocky hills just full of boulders that had been accumulated who knows how many millions of years back, just one on top of the other. It was quite beautiful to see this, because some of this stuff hasn't been touched by humanity for who knows how long. Obviously the roads touch certain areas, but otherwise the rest of it has remained virtually untouched with any civilization of any kind. It's just nature at its fullest. When I was looking at some of that stuff, it looked very, very beautiful. And then here you're looking at some patches of snow. I took this because it was quite fascinating. Being from Texas again, I never see snow. Very, very rarely in Austin do we get any snow. When it snows, it's like a catastrophe down here. Traffic is shut, lanes are closed, schools are closed, businesses are closed. This type of stuff like you're looking at here, it's just probably a normal day, a normal winter there in in the area there in Nevada. But if that's happened here in Austin, we would absolutely have a complete shutdown. So that's why I was taking some pictures. And then finally, after a little while of going through this rough road, we finally went to this area, which is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Obviously, you'll see like a sea of snow stretching out towards the back end. This area was very distinct. The tour started off by asking, so have any of you guys seen Independence Day? Obviously, yes. It's one of the greatest movies when it comes to blockbusters ever. Still one of those movies that still plays many times every year on the major cable channels, especially I believe it's Spike TV that tends to showcase it a lot. It's one of those movies where if you watch it, it's very, very viewable multiple times over. It never loses its flavor. And he was saying that he was asking us about this because it turns out it's kind of hard to see, but if you look towards the very far distance, there's a small strip like towards the middle going left to right of pure white. That's the actual lake or dry lake that Independence Day utilized during several important scenes of the film. Number one was when Will Smith's character was at that point where he had captured the alien, the one that crash landed, I guess, next to his fighter jet, and he had it wrapped around in that parachute of sorts. And there he was walking towards some base, and then there's a sea of RVs that come up upon him. That's where it was filmed. The way he said it was, the RVs were placed on the left-hand side, our left-hand side of the dry lake, and then Will Smith's character was on the right hand side. And the reason for it is, it's kind of hard to see there, but on the right hand side there's a large, I guess, boulder of some sort, very, very large, that occupies a lot of the dry lake. And so they wanted to make sure that certain scenes that you couldn't see that boulder, and so that's why it was filmed that way. But yeah, he said, Victoria said that normally we would be visiting the middle of that dry lake, like actually be right there where Independence Day filmed those scenes, but because of the snow that you're looking at there, because of the sun that was already coming up, he said that it would create a muddy situation, and he didn't want to risk having the SUV that we were in get stuck. And so because of that, we had to at least stay on the side like you're looking at here and away from the distance of the dry lake. But still, it was a beautiful, beautiful view. I mean, you're looking at another picture. I mean, it's just pure, pristine white snow. It was very surreal being there because there was nothing in terms of any form of civilization, like nothing. Like there was no planes nearby you could hear, no cars you could hear, none of the usual hustle and bustle noises involving any kind of cities or other people around. I mean, there were times where it was just pure quietness, and it was pretty amazing to see and pretty amazing to hear when it came to that location. Here's another picture. There's a nearby set of boulders. That's where we parked the SUV. And I was able to take some pictures of what looked like stuff that was there. And then, of course, here's little Godzilla standing, taking a selfie of sorts in front of this packed snow, which is kind of cool. It's a beautiful, beautiful location. Highly recommend. If you go anywhere in Las Vegas, try to visit that dry lake, the one that the ID4 filmed at. And if you do so, and if you're lucky, and the lake is dry enough, then you can actually go on it. This next picture showcases some tracks of an animal. Those are not my tracks. Those are not, in fact, my tracks are the ones towards the top left. Those are just regular tracks from an animal of sorts. I believe he was saying it's either a rabbit or some other type of small animal. But something was there, and it was scampering about when it saw our SUV come towards that area, so that way whenever it saw us, then it wanted to make sure it could get away. And then here's another picture, more pictures of these boulders. You'll see that some people that were there earlier decided to tag the location and then post whatever this is. It looks like obviously like just a outline of a human being. What that human being is saying, I have no idea, but there it is. And then this next one showcases that someone puts this, I don't know what that symbol means, but you'll see that the date on there shows 01, if I'm not mistaken. And so there you have something that was done 14 years or so ago, and it's still there to this day. So this is a location that many people have visited, no doubt due to the popularity of Independence Day. By the way, another scene that was filmed on that dry lake is the ending scene whenever everyone goes to try to see and make sure that Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum, who had just saved the day and crash landed on some dry lake of sorts, there they are walking in the distance together. That's where that scene was filmed as well. So quite a shame. I wish we could have been able to go on that lake, but no, we couldn't do so. This next picture showcases a close-up of another animal that apparently left its footprints there. Quite interesting again, with regards to what was living in those boulders. Know that it was moving the minute that saw our SUVs. And then finally, here's the last picture of that area. It just showcases the information about what you're expected to do. Those are apparently sacred, not sacred, but historic areas of sorts. And so from an archaeological standpoint, they don't want anyone damaging anything associated with that location. Obviously others have already tagged certain things that left their marks, but otherwise there's that sign that's listed on there too. I did pick up a very, very tiny boulder, just something less than the size of your palm of your hand, because I usually do that stuff whenever I visit certain locations. I want to make sure I have something like physical to take back from them, like my own, I guess, gift of sorts. So I do have something with that, and I'm going to keep it for a long time because it'll remind me that this is near the area where Independence Day filmed some of their most memorable scenes. So alright, so this is part 1 of my UFO tour, my Area 51 VIP tour. Be on the lookout for part 2, where I showcase more stuff, including the visits that I had to the famous alien, like the extraterrestrial highway signs, some pictures of some of the cars that were there, and then I'll try to squeeze in as well my visit to the little alien too. So be on the lookout for that stuff soon. Alright everybody, thanks again as always. Take care.